Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Cerebral Final Form. It won't be long before we get Vivid Voltage. And as I usually do, I'm going to give you guys some emerging decks, some ideas. Most of the best ones are actually going to be in Expanded this time. Some of the obvious stuff like Aegislash, I don't think I need to talk about, like Aegislash VMAX. You can build a deck around that guy with Metal Saucers and the other usual stuff, but I think for the most part that guy is probably going to be teched in and thrown in like Arceus Zacian decks, or maybe paired up with Arceus. But you can pair almost anything with Arceus. So the first strategy that might be cool to try out in Standard is using Orbital VMAX with the Sableye V from the first Sword and Shield set. So Sableye V, we know to get the best out of that Pokemon is to have a lot of damage counters spread on your opponent's Pokemon. Then you can do extremely high damage and pretty much get one-hit KOs. Orbital V will really help him out with that. As a VMAX is just a stage 1, it's not going to be difficult to pair with Sableye V. And because it only has one retreat, it's just too easy to put something like U-turn board, have it in the active position, promote it when something dies, spread damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon on the field, and then just move out of the way and attack with Sableye. I think it's just much more consistent than just using Galarian Zigzagoon. Obviously that guy is easy, you just play him down and you get the damage counter. But Orbital VMAX will really cover a lot of ground. Run a full playset of Switch too, and you might have a decent deck going for you. Since we have Aurora Energy too, you can actually build a deck where both Pokemon can actually attack, and you get that type coverage too. Maybe you can build it that Orbital VMAX is the main attacker, and then Sableye V is the backup. But I think with a little bit of testing, it's possible to make these guys work together. So Orbital V with Sableye V definitely could be a strong deck. Next up is a very obvious combination you can try, but I think it's fair to mention it. The Wailord from Vivid Voltage with Frostmoth. So what sets Wailord apart than any other sort of V or VMAX water Pokemon you can use is that he's a regular Pokemon with large HP. It definitely does less damage than Lapras VMAX and Galarian Darmanitan VMAX. But against other VMAX Pokemon, your best bet would be to get 2-hit KOs anyway. I mean, it's possible to put like 8 energies on Lapras and do that, but it won't be very likely most of the time. So if you're going to be getting 2-hit knockouts anyway, then a regular Pokemon like Wailord with 200 HP just has a lot less risk to it. So I think it's something to consider if you want to try water with Frostmoth. Maybe with Snorlax, the deck can finally become a bit good, a bit more consistent. Now, the other obvious water Pokemon that I briefly touched upon before is the Galarian Darmanitan VMAX. I don't think this Pokemon is that good. I mean, it's an easy Pokemon to use with Frostmoth. It's very obvious. Yeah, you can do a lot of damage, and yeah, it could be effective. But it's basically the Frostmoth deck with Lapras then, just very minor differences. Its attack is 4 water energies just like Wailord. So I think if you're going to try Frostmoth with a Pokemon other than Lapras, then at least Wailord is a more interesting choice. With Darmanitan, there won't be that many differences. And in a lot of ways, the regular Darmanitan V is worse than Lapras V actually. Next up is actually a cool combo you can do only in Expanded with the Galarian Surfetch V and the Team Magma's Camerupt. Now, I completely missed Galarian Surfetch V when I did the best card set review for Vivid Voltage, and I apologize for that, but it's not like this card is too amazing. The cool thing you can do though with Surfetch V is that you can instantly power up with Team Magma's Camerupt thanks to Resolute Spear. Team Magma's Camerupt works like Bronzong, Electric, and Malamar, but it has to attach the energies on himself. Since Surfetch has Resolute Spear though, you can move those energies from Camerupt and attach it to this guy, and he's ready to go with Meteor Smash then. All you gotta do is run some switching cards. In Expand, of course, we've got Dawnwings, Necrozma, and Keldeo EX, so just use a bunch of float stones on those guys. And you got a deck. You've got a Pokemon that can do 200 every turn. What makes it good is that Fighting type is a good type to be. It hits a lot of key Pokemon for weakness, like the Lightning decks in Expanded, Darkness decks, and more. Plus, you can boost the damage further with something like Diancie Prism, maybe Regirock, maybe even put some strong energies on this guy. So this is kind of a cool way to use it in Expanded with a Pokemon that's rarely seen. Now, I'm aware Team Magma's Camera probably isn't going to be the easiest card to come by, and most people won't have it, but if you do have them, you had them when they came out in 2015 or whatever, then this might be something you can try out and Expanded. In Standard, you can obviously try and use it with something like Coalsoul, the Stage 2, but they're just better Pokemon to use with that guy. He could make like a good surprise tech though, because of this ability. So that's what's up with Galarian Surfetch. We got another cool expanded combo you can do next with Coalsoul VMAX and the Celestial Storm Cargo. This one's pretty simple to pull off. You stack an energy with Makorgo's ability, then this guy can grab it with Eruption Shot, do the extra high damage, and then he also grabbed an energy for free. Eventually, you'll be able to use G-Max Boulder, and with a bunch of healing cards and stuff like Diancie to boost his attack further, I think is another good fighting type strategy you can try and expand it. Once again, in Standard, since this guy's a fighting dude, you can use it with Coastal. I mean, they kind of designed them to work together in a way, just like the Rillabooms. And then for the last two decks, we're featuring some regular Pokemon. First off is Charizard. I think this is probably the strongest Stage 2 in Vivid Voltage. It definitely does have a lot of potential, as long as you manage to find a way to dump the Leons into the discard pile quick. You can instantly grab a bunch if you use Misty's Determination. I think that's how it's called, the Supporter Misty card that lets you grab supporters. And then use cards like Quick Ball to instantly dump them in the discard pile. Now, in my opinion, I think this card is probably going to do a lot more in Expanded if it's going to do anything, because there's Battle Compressor, there's all the other fire support we can use like Heat Factory, boosting the consistency further, and there's just a bigger variety of item discard outlets like Ultra Ball and Quick Ball, Acrobike, there's even Tabulele, you can use that to search the supporter over there and then discard him. Like, once you do dump a few, he will be doing a lot of damage. Like, with just 2 discarded, he does 200 for 2. 3, that's 250. 4, it's a freaking 300 for 2 energy. So you really can't ask for more for a regular Stage 2 Pokemon. And obviously his own ability can help him out achieve that too. So could be good in Standard, but especially in Expanded, I think this might be a very good Stage 2 Pokemon to try out. And then the last Pokemon, Donphan. This one's my favorite because it's a throwback to Donphan Prime. With Earthquake doing 120 for 1, it's just a pretty simple strategy to try out. Just use this, use Mew, use a bunch of Crushing Hammers and a bunch of disruptive fast cards, just like the old Donphan Prime deck pretty much, one of the versions anyway, and you have yourself a deck. Against fighting weak Pokemon, you're probably going to have a really good time, like against Lightning decks and Eternatus. He's going to be hitting them for weakness. And the damage you do on your bench Pokemon can even be exploited, like if you want to use this with Spiritomb or some other cards. And this is what I got for some emerging decks for Vivid Voltage. Probably not as much variety as Darkness Ablaze, but we get some really cool combos that the other set didn't give us. Like, I find it cool that I'm able to use something like Team Magma's Camera with something like Surfetch. Coastal with Makargo is kinda cool, and Donphan, even though it's pretty simple, it's really sweet. Just running a stage 1 straight up and doing high damage. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I left out some stuff like Pikachu VMAX because I don't think that Pokemon is very good. Obviously you can use it with like Magnezone and Electric in Expanded. In Standard, I don't see how you can make really good use of it. I mean, it does the same damage as a Zekrom Reshiram GX with a worse cost, and it's a VMAX, so I don't think it's that good. It should have done more damage or just have an unlimited ceiling that you can discard as many lightning cards and boost the damage. Aegislash, like I said, is more of a tech, and anything else didn't really stand out to me to mention. So this is it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for all sorts of Pokemon TCG content. Leave a like, share this video with your friends, and with any luck, I get to show you some of these decks when we get Vivid Voltage soon. Saberwolf94, thank you guys for watching. What's up?